Hi, I'm Anna,
And I'm Ben.
and we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we are watching Attack on Titan, Season 2, Episode 3. Last episode, Ymir. All right, let's get into it. So we had the Ymir thing. I'm pretty sure that we have confirmation that we've never heard her referred to as Ymir yet.
We even went back to the moment that we thought we might have heard her name before, and her name was not said in that particular scene. If it was said somewhere else, we did not catch it and we don't remember it. But I feel like it wasn't. It seemed so purposefully placed there specifically, especially in position if you watch Ilse's notebook right after episode 1 of season 2 and then you watch this. It seemed so purposeful to me to just be hearing her name.
So I'm very glad that you bring that up because I wanted to touch on the fact that I am very happy that I got to watch Ilse's notebook before this episode or last episode.
Yeah.
For example, some people prefer the dub of certain animes. One, because it might be harder for them to get into because of sub. They're used to English, And unfortunately, we know people who prefer the dub or strictly watch anime and dub. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I don't think the OVAs are dubbed yet. So it kind of sucks. Like, I know that it helped my experience to watch that episode before. Mm-hmm. So I heard a rumor that there might be dubs coming out soon for the OVAs.
Which would be very exciting. If you've watched any of our previous reactions, you might have heard me mention that my dad is watching the show. Mm-hmm. And I actually have a quick fun fact for Ben that he didn't know. My uncle actually started watching the show as well, by my cousin's request. And I just got a call today that my uncle finished watching the entirety that is out right now of Attack on Titan. And he called my dad, and my dad was like, "Don't tell me anything."
Everything?
He watched every single up-to-date episode, supposedly. And my dad was like, "I'm gonna hang up. Don't tell me anything."
Oh my god. That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. We need to catch up. But yeah, I'm really glad that we got to watch Ilse's notebook beforehand because it made last episode's like WTF moment of it that much more extreme. Right. And I really appreciate that. And I'm still really hung up on it.
And I was glad to have watched No Regrets, obviously, when we did.
Gosh,
but that is a lesser of kind of importance in timeline of when you watch it as Ilse's notebook.
As far as we know. I mean, like, it just seemed like in the story, we don't get a Levi backstory within the seasons probably, so here's an OVA for it. And I loved that OVA, man. I'm really glad I got to watch it, and for people who were watching the dub, from what I understand at least, they haven't really gotten to experience that, which is lame. But hopefully that'll be resolved.
I also hope it is resolved.
And I don't want to make it seem like that was all last episode was about Ymir, because Sasha had some great moments, and it was really, really enjoyable to see her kind of get the spotlight a little bit because she deserves it. She's a character that's written in a way that she can handle herself in like a single story, It was a really well told singular like little event that we got with a flashback of her dad.
And we were hoping for it and waiting for it and predicting it possibly happening before we started this season. And so that was really awesome to get. I specifically loved the relationship she had with her father.
Me too.
And upon the end of the episode, him saying that she was all he hoped for, it was almost like we got closure on her in a way of like her story, her past, or she even probably got closure on her past, knowing that her father is proud of her in how she's grown and joining the cadets and protecting others and going out of her way to do so.
And the fact that she met that Titan that was like very tiny. Like, I don't know, that was weird. But
weird
her
situation.
having such a positive story and like great story makes me scared. I feel like I'm being conditioned by this show. Like, oh, we got something good.
You like
now
someone?
we get to see Connie, who I am fearful of having a bad episode this episode.
Because we had such a good one?
And when I say bad, I mean tonal. Like, I mean that somebody's going to die that I don't want to die, or something's going to happen that's going to make me very sad. And that could be a great episode.
I could see a huge tone shift in using them as kind of like compare contrast, since they're bringing both of these characters from the side to now the forefront for an episode. Possibly, like, we don't know for sure that this episode is going to be the same amount of time that was spent on Sasha for Connie, but it is leading me to believe that that is the case.
Yeah.
With where we left off.
And I'm like, was that Connie's mom?
It was weird. The eye color, blonde, I don't know. The legs being so tiny.
The eye color for you, the shot choice for me. Like, how it was just so,
what about
like...
the situation?
The situation as well,
Suspicious.
definitely. But that was weird. We also, real quick, last thing, had Hanji's investigation through a microscope of what I assumed to be the crystal. She made a weird face. We didn't really get any explanation. It could have been something we already knew. Who knows? But
it could be that she didn't learn anything.
No.
But maybe she learned something.
All right, that's all I have you.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Okay. Man.
Maybe some of them had time to get away on horseback?
It's a lot of hope.
I don't believe that.
Maybe everyone here was turned into Titans somehow.
村人の避難が本当に完了していたというのなら、巨人が誰もいないはずの空き家を馬なしで逃げて生存の可能性は
Oh, the horses are all still there.
Did it look like the houses were kind of like exploded from inside out? I don't know. I'm reaching, but
I mean, we're reaching. The ribs and the forming of the tiny legs that can't even stand.
Is he gonna look back at it? It's his mom.
It's his mom.
おいコニー急げゲルガーたちに遅れちまうぞライナー聞いたか今あいつが俺には何も聞こえてない任務に集中しろなんかあいつさありえないんだけど母ちゃんにコニーお前は今がどんな状況か分かってんのか何十万人もの命に直接影響してんだぞしてるお前の家族のことだろ兵士なら今最善を尽くせその通りだ
Well, it's his mom.
And she can talk?
And she has some sort of consciousness still there, no?
Why have we not seen talking up until this point?
Like from Titans?
Yeah. I mean,
know.
like, I get it story-wise, it's like a big drop of information and like, whoa, that could happen. But then I'm like, logistically, how can none of the ones that have already infiltrated the city that we've fought been able to talk?
Well, logistically, the only changes are Aaron becoming a Titan, us finding out about Annie, and the orangutan.
Yeah, and Titans within the walls.
And what?
Titans
within the walls. Correct. So maybe Titans within the walls like activated something. Maybe the knowledge that Annie was captured started something. I don't know.
Maybe other people have heard some of them talk before, but it wasn't characters we know.
Or they died.
Or they died and didn't live to tell the tale.
And it's different from just a Titan talking. It's a Titan talking about they were a human and like talking about knowledge they had.
Like the Titan knew that was Connie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nanaba, right? I like her. She's cool. Ymir.
破壊された壁の位置を特定しなければならない。壁沿いに走って探そう。一旦前線から引かせてください。 ユミル一人でも確保しておきたい。気持ちはわかるが兵士を選んだ以上は覚悟してくれ。
I wonder if it's more self-protection or her wanting to protect Krista as well.
私はここで最善を尽くしたい。私は自分で調査兵団を選んだんだから。あなたはそうじゃないでしょ。
Wait, did Ymir join because of
調
Krista?
査兵団を選んだのは私。お前のためにとでも言いたいのか。じゃあなんで今ここにいるの。憲兵団を目指すよう促すばかりか、その権利さえ渡そうとした。今期の10番以内に見合うはず。
Wow.
誰に聞いたって。
We were wondering if Ymir was in it and we checked and she wasn't. That makes sense now.
私にそこまでするの。
I don't know how you did it.
私の生まれた家と関係ある。ああ、ある。クリス
Is
タ、
she privileged?
安心してくれよ。すべて自分のためなんだ。
Then why are you
She's
sweating so
sweating.
much?
よかった。
They don't want to give us time to think about it.
So are we like theorizing that Connie's whole village is Titans right now?
Yes.
Ugh, that's the guy I don't like. But I like you.
God, it's so cool seeing characters we haven't seen again for a while.
I know. Being awesome.
Yeah. Rico. They said it right there. Awesome.
この防衛線も維持できます。
ただ、なんだろう。何か。
ハネス隊長、どうか。
There is no break in the wall. All the Titans are from within the wall already, right?
壁の穴にはかなり近づいたはずだ。
Look at him like being a leader right now.
Nice.
このまま穏やかなままとはいかねえもんだ。
Where did the orangutan come from then?
Why is it so dark?
Nighttime?
But it seems like too dark to be night. What about the moon?
いつ現れる。
So eerie.
奴らが暗闇から飛び出してきたっておかしくねえ。その瞬間は必ず訪れる。
Are they in a
お
cave?
かしくなりそうだ。
Because of the audio?
The audio and just the complete darkness. No like starlight or moonlight. Was that Connie's eye?
お前らも壁に沿ってきたのか。
Yep.
ここから西に異常は見つからなかった。
There's no hole.
そっちが見つけたんじゃないの。
こちらも穴など見てない。
見落とした可能性は。
ありえない。巨人が通れるほどの破壊跡だぞ。
さすがに馬も我々も疲労が限界に来てる。月明かり。
Oh, it was cloudy. Okay. Ooh, but what are they gonna see?
城跡か。
Were the castle why are the castle ruins a surprise?
Yeah, shouldn't they know where everything's located?
Maybe they were just lost because it was dark, but I don't know. It's interesting.
一晩休む分には問題なさそうだな。
Yeah, because you could have a lookout on the top.
ハンジ。おい、クソメガネ。お前はただの石ころで遊ぶ暗い趣味なんてあったか。
目型の巨人が残した硬い皮膚の破片だ。
Make that into a weapon, dude.
兄が巨人化を解いて
yeah.
体から切り離されてもこの通り蒸発しない。壁の破片と見比べたらその模様の配列や構
That
造
was
までよく似ていたんだ。
Her reaction was because they were identical.
Look
at Pastor Nick.
考えていい。本当に。
Armin's the man.
また言わせてくれ、アルミ。このままじゃ破壊されたウォールローゼを塞ぐのは困難だろう。のに適した岩でもない限りはね。でも、もし
If Aaron can make it?
降下する巨人の能力で壁の穴を塞げるのだとしたら、
That's a crazy visual.
にそのやり方が可能なら、ウォールマリアの奪還も明るいですよね。それを夜間に決行するのはどうでしょうか。夜に？はい。巨人が動かない夜にです。少数だけなら一気にウォールマリアまで行けるかもしれないのか。それでも希望はあるもんなんだね。エレンが穴を塞げるかどうかにかかっているんですが、それってできそう。
できそうかどうかじゃねえだろ。やれ。やるしかねえだろ。
We've never seen Aaron harden or anything. I don't know, it's gonna be difficult.
もうそれに視力を尽くす以外にやることはねえはずだ。必ず穴を塞ぎます。必ず俺んちの地下室だ。親父の言葉が本当なら
Pastor Nick's gonna want that key.
You're so right. He should not have brought it out in front of
ベ
him.
ルミアクだ。
What if he tries to steal it?
The music this episode's been crazy.
おい、止まるな。これもそりゃこうなるに決まってる。壁が破壊されちまってんだからな。おい、何のつもりだ。住処を失った人の表情がよく拝めるな。お前らの望みが叶って壁の中を巨人で満たすことに成功すれば、のくせえ口の中で人生最悪の気分を味わい、その生涯人類全員仲良くな。
All of humanity digested as one.
分隊長、急ぎましょう。
Pastor Nick might want to say something.
気持ちの変化はありましたか？時間がない。わかるだろう。話すか黙るかはっきりしろよ。お願いですから。
私は話せない。他の教徒もそれは同じで。
俺はどうも。わざわざ教えてくれて助かったよ。
これは自分で決めるにはあまりにも
Too
大
great
き
a
なことだ
decision
か
for
ら
a single person to make.
我々ウォール教は大いなる意志に従っているだけの
Sacred will we're bound to.
誰の意志？
我々は話せない。その大いなる意志により監視するよう命じられた人物の名なら教えることができる。その人物は今年調査兵団に入団したと聞いた。
Ymir?
その子の名は
失礼します。サシャ・ブラウスです。
あいつが
分隊長殿、これを。
We don't get to know? It has to be Ymir, right?
彼女なら我々の知り得ない真相さえ知ることができるだろう。あとはお前たちに委ねる。
104機だから今は最前線にいるんじゃ。
行きましょう。
待って。
サシャ。
先ほど兵団支部に事後報告に行ったところ。
Sasha's so good.
書類？わかった。それで
Krista? Her family?
Ymir brought up Krista's family.
Uh-huh.
かわいい。
So maybe Ymir is like a sworn protector. Maybe Ymir's family has to do with the Wallists, and that's why Ymir joined the scouts to be with her.
ユミル。お前。
全員を切ろう。
What?
本当に来てくれ。
He knows Ymir did something, and we don't know what Ymir did.
月明かりが出てきて気づいたら。
なんでだよ。なんでまだ動いてんだ。日没からかなり時間が経ってるのに。
He killed Mike.
あれは
Yep.
JK。なんだあいつは。
The Orangutan.
違う、獣じゃねえか。あいつ壁の方に。
Is it leaving?
わかったね。
Which wall? It has to be leaving. That's the one they're closest to, right?
ここからは別行動だ。あとは任せたぞ。アルミ、お前は今後も判事と知恵を絞れ。ミカサ、お前がなぜエレンに執着してるかは知らんが、エレンを守ることに使え。
はい。
Job met for her.
エレン。
So many.
Do you think they're like drawn to Krista or Ymir?
たがっているんだよ。ここからは
They don't have gear.
大起動装置の出番だ。
It looks like it's leaving.
It got the gear, and now
Look
it's
how
leaving.
well it can climb.
それからだ。
Tiny head.
お前は自分を抑制しろ。怒りに溺れて本質を見失うな。今度こそしくじるなよ。
渡せそうだ。
That's where they're headed
南
towards.
西の壁近くにある古城ウトガルド城を目指そう。
I love seeing it at night.
What a fantastic episode, dude. Wow. Where did Orangutan come from? Do you think he climbed over the wall to get there in the first place?
I think so. I think he came for a goal, he got the gear, and he was leaving with it.
Okay, so let's take it from the top in the orangutan sense, right? He came for a goal. What preempted that goal? Was it out of just pure coincidence, or was it because Annie was captured and the wall was exposed?
It might have been based on events happening where he realized that they needed to know a little bit more about the humans.
Okay. So then he climbs over the wall, and if that is the way that we are perceiving this, if he climbs over the wall to do this goal, right, have this mission, is the mission to get the ODM gear, or was the mission to make Titans? Or was the making of Titans while he was there a coincidence? Him having direct control over those Titans leads me to believe, and power over those Titans leads me to believe he could have taken part in creating them.
I like that theory. I like the kind of vampire-esque idea that a stronger Titan could create other Titans. Because we've always wondered, where do they come from? You know, because they can't reproduce. So what if it is the case that Titans can... remember when we brought up what happens to the people that they digest?
Yeah.
Or like that are inside of them?
They get regurgitated.
What if they ever go out or take some with them and then, I don't know, like, they could be multiplying themselves, like,
so
by that.
I couldn't tell if, like, it was the Harry Titan or it was, like, Aaron's dad or something, like, turning these people into Titans, like, because...
My first guess was, were they an experiment by Aaron's dad, Connie's
maybe,
village in particular?
Perhaps it's both. So, like, I have this image pulled up right here. It's an anime, I know, but I am just trying to make sense of this. It makes me think of Cell's time capsule in Dragon Ball Z when Trunks and Bulma found it. So there's rubble on the outside of the house, no? I'm sure there'd be rubble anywhere regardless, but if a Titan reached in, I feel like it'd be more concentrated perhaps on the inside. I think that it's, like, with the context that we have, it's very easy to assume these people were all in their homes and turned into Titans.
It's every single house, though, and there's no blood.
Yes.
And, like, obviously we saw what we're going to assume is Connie's mother and or some other family member that it was welcoming him home, but it looked like, I mean, his mom was blonde, and I'm assuming she has the same eye color.
So if it was some type of combination of what Aaron's dad gave to people to stop the epidemic and the Beast Titan's arrival,
right,
then it could be like
called them into action almost.
Called them into action, or like, I don't even, like, even stepping foot inside the walls.
Was like they immediately, the instinct inside of them went to obey him or something.
Yeah, and like they were all in their homes separately. I'm gonna assume that it's an animal because they called it a beast, but it could be a translation thing. I like orangutan.
I mean, orangutans are the monkey that is, like, the most, I guess, humanoid out of the monkeys, right?
Yeah. When I was texting, like, I have a buddy who is, like, our, I guess, guide throughout Attack on Titan, who is really, like, he's a really good friend of mine, and he, I'd go as far as to say my best friend. But no, he's a big fan of Attack on Titan, and he was super excited to know that Anna and I were going to start it, and we didn't know anything. So after, like, each episode, I text him, and after we first met the orangutan, and I told him about it, and he was like, yeah, some people call him Harry, some people call him a beast, some people call him, like just, like, a bunch of different, like names to call him or whatever for fun. And this is the first time we've seen the term beast.
Other than in the title.
Other than in the title, Beast Titan.
Yeah.
And so I I don't know if that's what we should go forward calling him or not. But regardless,
Would Aaron technically be a Teen Titan?
other than no, like really though, if like
Serious.
serious
now.
if his walking into like this wall, maybe why in this village were people affected and not Sasha's?
It's the closest village to the wall. So it would have possibly been the first village that the Titan came upon.
And why was Connie's mom the only one?
Not able, like, to fully transform, supposedly?
Was it a sort of will thing? She was fighting it for Connie's sake, wanting to see him come home?
You know, it could have been one of those situations where she knew that he was going, once he heard about this happening, he would try to come to them. And she wanted to be there to welcome him home or something. So it
Maybe.
could have been some subconscious sabotage of the transformation process, like a will of a mother to not fully
This is
become
kind
a
of
Titan.
stupid, but you know, the whole like Aaron needs to have a mission to transform.
Yeah.
What if you had like a clear-cut goal, you could like stop yourself from transforming subtly?
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense to me. I want to talk about this. Okay, you're around it. I think Reiner, right?
Yeah.
I think he heard.
Me too.
I think he heard. He was acting way too, like, he's normally a very, like, I wouldn't say he's not scared or nervous, but he seems to be a little more, like, cool and collected to the best of his ability for being a new cadet. But he seemed way too, like once Connie said, "Did you hear that?" He was like, "No." You know, like,
So-
no one responds like that. And they would have been like, What did you hear? You know, if they hadn't heard anything.
Yeah. Do you agree with me that it seemed like that happened and then the next 35 seconds was them convincing us it was nothing? Like, so that happened. I thought it was weird. And the reason I didn't think it was weird by the end of it was his speech to him made sense, as well as the music here was
Yeah.
killer. I just want to like play it again for us now. I was like, what?
Right, like, that makes sense. You're falling behind.
Yeah.
But just his curt response to Connie and saying, "Did you hear that?"
Yeah.
is like... And that, him
Yeah.
turning like that, it's
Yeah.
purely those, like,
And then
two-
it's like he's getting upset at him.
Yes.
I agree.
It's like those three little signs are
But-
just slightly not what I would have written the character to do if he didn't know anything.
But
I didn't write it.
It's also like a plausible deniability kind of sense for our sake, because like it in this like if they decided that and we're wrong with it, it would make sense for him to do this in a world, right?
Okay, you could also give him the idea that he did hear it, but he doesn't want Connie to focus on that right
Yeah.
now because they do have a mission.
Agreed.
So he's basically lying to Connie in order to get Connie to move so they don't fall behind
Yeah.
and don't get hurt.
Hundreds of thousands of lives depend on whether or not we complete
Right.
this mission.
So
That's true.
He could be denying it purely to get Connie out of there.
Without a doubt. And
So maybe it's not, like, suspicious. It could be more of like a friend thing to do. Like, okay, we have a mission. I need to get him to focus back on it.
but no, I agree. We're gonna bring him up again towards the end of the discussion,
Obviously.
because that's when him and Ymir have this question.
I was suspicious of his character when the Jean and Armin with the female Titan but everything that I was theorizing in that moment got dispelled by us breaking it down and
Yeah.
realizing that Titan blood evaporates.
The only thing that made me suspicious of him so much was because of the squish.
Yes, that's the only...
We've seen other people like claw their way out of a Titan's hand before. That's fine. It was just we didn't see it in the next episode's like review or recap of it. It was just that one scene that I thought was weird.
And this show is trying to make us be suspicious of anyone and everyone, because we knew that Annie was some sort of spy-ish had a mission. But now we're learning that Ymir and Krista are also shady characters,
Okay, well,
even though Krista's like this amazing, cute angel.
In my mind, it's shady to a different side. Like, there's like in my like hierarchy right now, or family tree, for lack of a better way to put it, there's two different like sides of it, like a humanoid political side with like Princess Ymir or whatever, right? And then like a Titan side with Annie. I don't like, I would think Ymir and Krista here, like their family have some like, they're just like really, they have generations of family with long history in them and some sort of importance. I didn't think Krista had more importance than Ymir did as of like before last episode. Like her having to come around in this was like I did not expect it. Like when Ymir said like have to or Krista said, does this have to do with my family? Then I was like, what? Like,
I don't know if you said it, so that's why I'm gonna talk about it. You mentioned the possibility that Ymir and Krista's families go way back. I'm not sure if that's the case, or Krista seems like the type of person who saw Ymir as their best friend. And while being in the cadets together, who's to say she didn't tell Ymir who she is or about herself? And that might be why she's like, did what I tell you change how you acted towards me or around me?
That makes
sense. It could have been that sort of feeling, or it could have been that Ymir's family was always tasked to help Krista's family in some way. The
only reason I like jumped to the protection aspect was because like when I think of Ilse's notebook, I think of Princess Ymir, then I'm automatically like, okay, so there was a Princess Ymir back when Titans were created, probably. So if Krista's family's important, most important families I feel like are generational. I don't know, like in my head there was some sort of, could be a connection there. But it's, I don't know, man, it's interesting. I completely agree that probably like
it could be either or.
It did seem like Ymir was lying here. Right? Like her sweat droplets, like it might have had something to do with her family or something, right? Is for myself and nothing else. Like,
or it could be just the fact that what she says there is a lie. That it might not be for Krista's family, but it's definitely not just for herself and no one else or no other reason. But like, and then like, obviously at the end, the two freaking suspicious characters that are having a secret conversation are...
We're going to get there.
Okay.
We're going to get there.
Okay. Sorry. I got ahead of myself.
I am with you, dude. Okay. So, Hanji brought up the rock.
Different rock.
I know. So I completely agree that it could just be like she didn't want Armin to steal her thunder.
Yeah. But you are also right. She might not have wanted him to say something in front of.
Yeah. Granted, kudos to Armin, man. Like,
I mean, like, think about what Levi said. He was like, Armin and Hanji, they're the brains, basically, of this mission. Then, let me finish, Armin. She kind of has a sweat droplet there. Granted, it's an anxious moment. I don't know. It could be something else, I feel like she's doing everything purposefully to do something to Pasternak. And then Armin caught on or something. That's a reach. But it's very interesting. I think push comes to shove. Eren always finds a way, right? And he probably could do it even though he hasn't done it before. I do think in the moment, I was a little worried when Eren brought up the key in front of Pasternak. Me too. I was like, don't tell him the secrets are there, because then he's going to think that it's his mission to make sure the secrets never get found out. Yes. If anything, I thought it was kind of dumb of him to bring it up in mixed company that weren't, like, trusted people. I get you. It was very, I thought, powerful to see Pasternak's reaction to the people, and it's very good work on Hanji and good work on Levi. Like, for that sense, that was a right choice. They got information. He actually opened his mouth, and his total facial structure changed.
It did.
He normally looks so like, and now he's just more like, holy fucking shit.
So I just want to read like these upcoming lines out loud because I read them the first time through, but I don't think I might have comprehended everything. So just in case, this is Pastor Nick talking. The order of the walls must always adhere to the sacred will we are bound to obey. Whose will? God or something? I cannot say. However, I can inform you of a name who under their sacred will we were instructed to monitor.
Is Krista's family like the ones that started the Wallists? Then like why would she be allowed to join, the cadets?
Okay, so breaking down the sentence, I can inform you of a name who under their sacred will, their name as in Krista's family name?
Maybe it might have been the family. We don't know if it was her full name or if it was the family name.
I would assume family name because the Wallace have been around forever, for a long time.
Yeah. And it'd be weird if it was all up to the will of a young girl. Who under their sacred will we were instructed to monitor, as in monitor the person or monitor the walls. Maybe, and monitor is a good term because it means to not get involved with, just to observe. And so he's not allowed to get involved unless it is the will to get involved. Yeah.
And obviously he knows of Krista's whereabouts. Okay. That person joined the scout regiment as of this year.
I think it's not her family, it's specifically her.
Then that would mean that she was the one who gave them orders. No?
Or maybe like it's been
under their sacred will.
It might be like the family passed down, but she's the current heir and the person that they listen to. Under
their sacred will, like their sacred will could potentially be like, okay, when you die, you have a will written up, right? So like I'm maybe thinking it could be a play on words here in dialogue in the sense that in the past it was like keep monitor of our family and like every generation of our family, which would explain why they're monitoring a name, and it would make sense in the like, because if that wasn't the case, then that would imply that Krista was the one who instructed them, and I don't believe that.
Right, it could have, yeah, you're right. It could have been like a pass down. You are to monitor this family until the heir of the family says otherwise.
Yeah.
Says for you to do something else.
Or the heir of something, something. That person joined the scout regiment as of this year. And I was like, Ymir. They love saying her name
I was
this episode.
thinking Annie, Ymir. I was going with both names. I was not.
Then at first I was like, Sasha?
I know, because they all said Sasha when she walked in, or like she announced herself as Sasha, and I took that as maybe it was her, but none of them heard Sasha.
Who's that?
Okay. She got a potato, so it's all good.
Oh, best girl. You must find her at once. Only she may know the truths which even we cannot perceive.
May.
Yes, but why would she?
Because there could be family passed down secrets
that
they didn't share with the ones that they instructed to monitor.
Maybe
because they weren't of status.
Maybe something she knows is why she joined the scouts.
Or she could be rebelling against the thing that she's supposed to be doing as the daughter of her family or whatever.
But she did reiterate this episode that it was her choice to join the scouts kind of thing. And it could be a rebel thing. That's very true. That's in stories a lot. In my mind right now, I'm thinking it's like she read something. A book was preserved. She was told something by a friend or like a butler or something like that. She is like, I want to see if that's true kind of thing.
Yeah, like she found out something she wasn't maybe necessarily supposed to.
We know
yet.
Armin's family had a book, and that motivated Aaron and Armin.
Mm-hmm. It motivated Armin's family enough to try to leave and go there.
This is all the information I can share. He knows so much, man. Right?
He's leaving it up to the leader to decide if they learn anything else, which I think is a pretty brilliant move.
Wait, he had something else that I don't know.
Why is Pastor Nick the only official of the Wallists that we have like met?
Good question. This needs to be like my screensaver. This is
Hanji
great.
knowing that Sasha loves a potato, it's just a little moment that shows you that there is time in between the episodes we watch where they really get to know each other better. And I love little nods to characters like having interactions that you haven't seen.
Great catch seeing the Titan that was part of Mike's death.
I don't know if any of the others were there because the big-headed
very
fish-eyed
specific.
one is a very specific
Okay,
look.
this I feel like I'm gonna lean over my desk in a second to try to get an idea of what this is.
I want to know what he's holding.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a thing that he found on Ymir, maybe? A thing he found in Connie's village?
What is this expression looking like?
It's a case with a needle and an injection in it to turn people into titans.
Could be. It definitely doesn't look like anything like ring-like to turn themselves into a Titan. So it could be something that he found in Connie's village, right?
Which could be why he was trying to get Connie to leave.
Correct. Or it could be something that he has found on Ymir or Krista's person. Ymir knows something, right? Here, she's like, I cannot believe you found this right now, you know?
Look at her face there.
It was almost like she was like ready to kill him or something.
Yeah, like if you're gonna tell or you're gonna sabotage whatever this is for me, I'm gonna have to take you out kind of face.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Levi still isn't really in action. That's an interesting thing from this episode.
I mean, he had a broken leg or something, right?
Yeah,
Or an ankle.
I guess.
What could this be, other than an injection kind of
It
thing? Or
honestly
like
looks like a case that you keep your toothbrush in when you're traveling.
a
but
whistle? Like a dog whistle for
mean,
Titans?
Think about how the Beast Titan could have, what we said, like how he could have changed that whole village into Titans. What if it was like a sound, a high pitch or something
activated
sound
something?
that activates it?
But she wasn't near Connie's village, right? It looks like somebody clone stamped a symbol off of that in the bottom right corner. Like it looks like it's supposed to say something or have an emblem. Like, look at this. Doesn't that look like it has something on it there?
Yeah.
And then, well, you can't see. Look, I don't know. That's something, and I really want to know what it is. Whatever the case is, does it not seem to you, obviously?
That tiny little one, the
Ew.
like little fat one.
Yes,
See it?
I do. Look at it, like he's holding this one like a pregnant lady.
I know. And there was another one that was hugging himself like this.
Obviously, Titans are attracted to humans, but do you think that they're attracted to Krista, or, like specifically?
Okay, it's odd to me that in the dark, most of them were underground too. That's the odd part, is how did all of the Titans know to go here? Obviously, the Beast Titan told them to go over here. Because, like, they were all underground. There's not a lot of them. There weren't any around when they got here. So what is it? Can Titans, like, have super smell? Obviously, that one had a big nose, so that makes sense. But I think it's more like the Beast Titan probably told them to go over there.
I mean, the Beast, his eyes are black. Could be the whole control thing, like we were saying. That being said, it didn't make any acknowledgement towards them, right?
What is
Ymir's
that?
face, man.
What is Connie's reaction? I thought it when it was happening. What is his reaction to looking over to the three of them? Like, what is he reacting to?
It's more like, it's like a
beast.
beast. Right? It looks like he is looking at them and they're shocked to see something. No? Like, in relation...
Interesting. Did you see that shot? All of the people in front were looking this way, and Ymir was looking that way.
With Krista?
No, not this shot. It might have already happened. I don't think it means anything.
What the hell is it? A Titan?
I'm just looking for clues. That's
Well,
what I'm
this
looking for.
is
I'm, like,
definitely
searching.
weird up here. Like, it looks like Ymir switched sides because she was right next to Krista.
Yeah.
And then
What's Krista's face looks shocked and like
they're looking at the Beast Titan right now.
Yeah.
And they're shocked. But then Connie's like, right? Looks over to, I think, what they're looking at. But then Ymir's like looking over at something else.
Ymir
And then
and then Krista
Connie's-
looks at that same thing.
Oh my
Or is
god,
Krista
no.
looking at Connie?
No, this is so fucking...
Is Krista looking in the same
Okay,
direction that
this is-
Ymir looked?
No, she's not. And this is so crazy that we're even like analyzing this. Because like this, okay, look at this. Ready?
Okay.
Connie's like, right, you guys? Then he's suspicious. Why is he suspicious? Because Ymir's looking at something. And then Krista's like, wait, Connie, why are you suspicious? Like, it's like,
And then
like
she
it looks at him, right? Or Ymir.
over at Ymir.
But then it's headed for the wall. I don't know, man. Ymir's...
Is that what was Ymir reacting to the Beast Titan heading towards the wall?
Maybe.
Ugh, so gross.
It's interesting that they chose Reiner and Ymir to have this interaction, though, right? It
Right before
leads
this.
you to believe that there is something that both of them might know more that other people don't.
Mm-hmm. She's like scary pretty. Ymir in like that shot. I was like, they drew her to be beautiful and terrifying.
This is the most beautiful I've seen her.
Specifically like this shot.
Yeah.
But you know, we haven't really seen a lot of her other than in the side and background, so.
For the amount of times they hadn't said her name in this series, they made it up this episode.
Honestly.
Ugh.
Oh, Krista's so cute. She's drooling when she's sleeping.
She's cute.
Isn't that cute that like they were asking about Krista and Armin just goes, she's cute.
They're in their own room.
She's looking for something. They have a reason to be in the other room to talk.
Did they find something here?
No, maybe. You. And she's like, shut your mouth.
Whoa, okay. What were they looking in?
Like a supply box from the castle? Maybe they were looking for more candles, you know?
What is that?
Looks like candles, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or is that the thing that he's holding? No.
Mm-mm.
There's
The
like
thing he's
round
holding is
things.
gold.
Yeah, but it's so
You think it's
dark.
ODM gear?
Could be extra supplies to fix your ODM gear or something.
Yeah, but the gold thing in his hand was definitely weird, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't think we're gonna be able to figure it out.
I know I want to, though. Okay. Do you have anything written down or anything you want to go over?
The only thing I had written down... I thought it was... I only had two things written down, and one was how Kurt Reiner was with Connie in the village. How that was odd, and I wanted to go back to it. And then the other thing I wrote down is how Hanji references and is looking at the hardened Titan skin and calling it a glimmer of hope. Basically talking about how they can use this. If Eren can harness hardening abilities, they could plug all the holes and, you know, all that. But it's this glimmering object, and she says that as she's looking at it.
Yeah, I remember,
And I thought it was interesting. What I wrote down is the glimmer of hope is now Titans. Titans are the thing that is scaring them and taking their hope away, but Titans are also their hope. It's odd.
Yeah. It definitely is. We still have a glimmer of hope. Here we go.
And then she holds it tighter.
If the group was small enough, you could sneak all the way to Wall Maria.
I want to see them
Current
sneak in the night.
situation is as bad as it gets, but we still have a glimmer of hope. It's very interesting. Hey, the hope technically came from Annie.
Mm-hmm. And if Eren can use it, then Eren being their hope gets stronger. I don't know if it would look the way that they depicted in the show, him hardening and plugging the wall. I feel like that picture was too specific.
It
like,
was
that
so
more
specific. Didn't they do something like that before, though, with like him picking up the boulder?
Maybe.
And
So
then I
maybe
was
it
like-
is specifically what could happen.
Then I was like, no way,
That'd
he's
be
gonna do
interesting.
it.
It's like a teaser.
Yeah. God, I really want to find that shot again because it was very like interesting. It was before this, no?
We gotta plug it. Boom.
Yeah. Yo.
His eyes are glowing green. It's like coming out of his head. Weird. It's like it starts in his head and his hands. I mean, Annie's was like used in her hands a lot. I don't know.
Would he is there a reason that the Titans had to do it from the inside out and not from like the outside in, and then they could remain outside the wall?
Maybe that's why the Titan we saw in the wall doesn't have skin. Because it's technically in its skin.
Oh, that's gross.
It is gross.
Interesting. All right, that's all I have, you.
Yeah, that's all I have. Honestly, I've watched second seasons of shows and been not as impressed and or not as interested, but I've also had the opposite effect where I wasn't like super into season 1 of a show, but then season 2 was like a pretty kick-ass arc. And I would say that this season so far, I know it's very soon into it. It's episode 3 and we just finished, but so far it still is going strong for me of having all of the qualities of why I enjoyed season 1, which is I love talking about language that's used. I love talking about devices and story elements that are used to hint, to tease the viewer into possibly guessing what's going to happen. And this show has a lot of great story elements to get into, to theorize on. And I don't feel disappointed by that in season 2 yet.
Sometimes I feel unsure of myself when it comes to reacting to other shows and my discussions for them because they are not as long or in depth, and I overanalyze things in my head like that I've seen on the shows because they're not written and made to be looked at that way. Mm-hmm. But I'm so used to it with this show, and I appreciate it so much with this show. Like Demon Slayer is gotta be one of my favorite shows of all time, and it's so in the moment reactionary, mm-hmm. and that's why I love it. And this show is just as much love, but in its own way, like in its different way that is. It could easily be better or worse depending on my mood, because like I
feel like it's challenging me.
It's challenging me, mm-hmm. and I love thinking and talking about it. I love being able to look at specific words and trying to figure out how they. I
think it makes sense for us. We both love to learn, and a little bit of challenge and breaking things down and like guessing, but having like more like evidence-based guesses mm-hmm. is fun. It's fun to see if you can get on top of where the story's going.
We should do an escape
with what's being given to you. It's like a murder mystery. Like you've been given the facts or evidence of the murder, and you have to figure out who the murderer is based on the evidence.
AutoSave does escape room. That'd be fun. All right,
a Titan-based escape room. So like every window you see, you have to like make sure you don't pass the windows or you'll get spotted.
Sounds like an obstacle course, more of an escape room.
It's the basement. Aaron's basement is the escape room. Escape from Aaron's basement.
It's like the world's the escape room and we're trying to get into Aaron's basement. All right, that's all I have, you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.